Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to ETS2 Q&A episode today. We are starting off right after where we ended the last time, though, in Valencia. Here in the western side, I found a job that takes us. We'll be needing a boat. We'll be taking a boat with us, and me and boats, we don't really have a good history, but I'm going to give it a chance, and we'll make our way to Murcia right here. Murcia, I think. Murcia. You get it. But along the way, we'll discover, I think this is a viewpoint, and probably that showcases the port of Valencia. So let's go and check it out. So we have a bit of tour ahead of us here. Still driving with the same truck. Zeemod sounds. Don't ask me to change trucks anytime soon, because this truck is just really winning in all aspects for me. I have not yet found the itch to drive a different truck. I am so enjoying this, and I am looking forward to driving more with it in the near future. I did hear of some updates, so before we go into the Q&A, some updates that I've heard. I think some MP2 Black Edition updates have happened, right? I think from the one by Dotek, the MP2 Black Edition has been updated with Krishbom's new sounds, and that one sounds very good. But I think, yeah, Zeemod just takes the cake on that one for me. I might be a bit biased by now, but I really love his work, and Krishbom is amazing. But the sounds from Zeemod are just on a different level for me, these particular ones. Speaking of Zeemod, he's now working on the next update, the next engine, the Cat C15 for ETS. That will fit perfectly well with the W900 update from John Ruda. So I'm hoping that goes live probably, hopefully, right next to each other, because both of them seem like they are taking shape, both the sound mod from Zeemod and the major update of the truck from John Ruda. So looking forward to trying that out together, but we'll see. In the meantime, if you have pre-purchased, if you have pre-ordered the Cat C15 from Zeemod, he sent an email over the weekend. It's not really ready yet, so you can't really play with it yet, use it on your truck. But he did share some teasers, videos, photos of his recording process, and that really explains in the best way possible why these mods are paid. Because when he says he rents a truck, it's not as simple as renting a truck. It involves all the technicalities of recording, having different equipment, microphones, cables, and all those fancy equipment which I have no idea what they're for. But yeah, he shared images and videos of real life footage of how the recording process goes. So you can see the truck actually rigged with the recording equipment, the microphones right next to the exhaust and stuff like that, and all the different tricks that he uses to make that work. It's really insightful, and I really like it. Really like learning about that process. So 90 kilometers here, can easily sit like that. And yes, I'm really looking forward to driving with that, but in the meantime, I'm happy enough to get an update, like seeing it in action, how that entire thing works. And it's great to see, because you get all these little details on how the recording process goes, and you get all these details of, oh, apparently when the recording happens, the truck is not always just at idle and with him revving the engine or whatnot. There are actually cases where he records while the truck is moving, and so he gets the engine sounds of a loaded, is that the right term? Yeah, the loaded engine, so actually hear how the engine would sound like while it's moving and not just when it's idle. And so the jake brakes and everything, they're triggering really as the truck is moving. And then you can see it in some of the videos he shared that he records them like at each rev range. Like I would imagine, for example, probably at 1000 RPM. So the truck would be moving and staying at 1000 RPM for a couple of seconds, and then it goes to 1100, and then for a couple of seconds 1200. That's how I imagine it he's doing, because he only shared a couple of seconds of footage, but that's how it seemed like it worked. So it seems like he uses, and he has like a longer recording of each RPM range so that he can find maybe the best sample and then use that for the engine sound, so that he has more footage to play with. Very nice, very nice. And that is how we get these kinds of engine sound qualities. Alright, Valencia, if we turn right. Alright, yeah, in some areas, let me go back to the signs a bit. Lots of discussions over that one. It seems to be pretty so far. Thank you guys for the comments and the support on the past video. Well, past videos with an S, but the past video specifically. Yeah, nice to see that we are mostly in a common ground there. In some areas, the DLC is amazing. In many areas, in most areas actually, but the signage can be a bit lacking sometimes and a bit inaccurate. In some cases, the inaccuracies of the signage is just mostly for the sake of having it 100% accurate, Doesn't really detract from a driving experience so much unless you know of the signs. But there are sometimes some glaring issues where there is no early warning system, for example. It doesn't warn you that an exit is coming up. It doesn't warn you that a roundabout is coming up. It doesn't warn you that a change is coming up. Those times when signs are critical and not just a nice to have. So sometimes those are missing, and that leads to some accidents on the road, both because of the AI suddenly changing speed without any heads up, because suddenly the road changes in the road, what do you call it, the speed limit on the road changes suddenly, things like that. So it can be detrimental in some ways. But yeah, it seems like because people are saying, and I tend to agree with this, if we are looking for the best map DLC ever, I think that crown still will go to Colorado. Colorado, I think, is still the best map DLC we've had ever in terms of accuracy, in terms of quality. Iberia, I think, would come at a close second. But I think, to cut some slack for SCS, even with some of the inaccuracies and missing signs, I think in terms of size, it is much larger versus Colorado anyway. So maybe they missed some because of the sheer size of it. So that can be a possible thing too. Hopefully they focus more on that next time. Hopefully we get an update that improves and adds those missing signs. We'll see. But until then, we get to enjoy that amazing view. Oh my goodness. Yeah, beautiful. That was a beautiful sight as we entered the port. This actually reminds me a bit of the Valencia from Pro Mods. There are certain similarities, although I think, I'm not sure. It's probably not the exact road network, but I like it. Where are we going? right lane, maybe? No, I think let's stay here. Yeah, we'll stay here on the left. Later on, I think we'll be going there on the right. Because first we are exploring the viewpoint. One other complaint, I guess, that I've seen from Iberia DLC is that there are no or minimal secondary roads. That the entire DLC is filled with highways. Now, I'm not so sure how it should be in real life. I'm guessing in reality there are lots of secondary roads in Spain and Portugal. I'm not so sure though how likely they are for trucks to drive in, because remember, this is at the end of the day still a truck simulator. So at the end of the day, where the trucks drive, that is the priority. If trucks really don't drive on those smaller roads, then maybe it's more of a nice to have and not really a critical thing. Okay, let's see how this works. Maybe I can take a screenshot later for the thumbnail. Here we go. Let's enjoy this viewpoint. Alright. What is this? The port of Valencia. That is looking very nice. And the truck, our truck, has the perfect angle in there. Ministerio de Fomento. I won't even try and read the other ones. There we go. Beautiful working port. I believe Singapore, where I am in, is actually a very large port as well in Asia. Not sure how it scales against the other major ports, but yeah, I think this is one of the major businesses in Singapore. I see a lot of these containers being shipped in and out if you go to certain parts in the country. Oh, that is very nice. Looking very good. Nicely done, SES. And all in a very performance-friendly manner. I like it. Oh, that looks great. That might be a thumbnail right there, guys. That might be a thumbnail right there. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Alright. Now we're ready to work after we've done some sightseeing. We can go to the questions. Once I make this turn, that is. 1 second. Sorry, I was a bit busy. Alright, I'm back. Back with you guys. Oh. Not so much. Okay, now I'm really back. Alright, let's go and tackle some questions. We still have a couple from Plum. And if you guys have questions of your own, let me know. There should be a link in the video description to a Google form where you can type your question, and optionally you can share your name, or you can remain anonymous if you so like. That's okay. Either way should be fine. So if you have questions, ask away and I'll get to them eventually. Alright, let's go to Plum's questions here. I'll be skipping some of those which are oriented more on the... 1 second, how do we get to that spot? Oh, do we have to go around all the way? Oh, here, I think. We have to loop around there, loop around here, go back, and that way. Okay, I see. Yikes, tricky. Okay, let's stay on this one. Longest time without a trailer, I think, in an episode. That's okay. More sightseeing goodness. More enjoyment. Alright, let me see. I'm going to skip some of Plum's questions because I think those will be more suitable for a flight sim episode, a flight sim Q&A episode. Let's see. Airports. Yeah, that's more flight sim. Okay, here we go. Would you want to see... Oh, here. If you could add one feature to the ETS2 ATS line, what would it be? Yeah, that's actually a very good question. I think I've answered that a couple of times, but I gave different answers each time. It depends on my mood, really. At this point, I would be interested in more actual trucking elements, because as I would like to describe this game. At the end of it, this is a trucking game with a driving game with trucking elements is how I would describe it. A driving game with trucking elements. Because at the core of it, it's mainly a driving simulator. Just instead of driving a car, you're driving a truck, so you have a trailer at your back and everything. But doesn't really have all those actual trucking elements that people might be looking for. If you're looking for a hardcore trucking simulator, probably won't find it here. Are you guys hearing that cutting off sound as the cabin shakes? Yeah, I think that's the one from Soundfix's mod. That still hasn't been fixed, unfortunately. I think I'll have to remove it in the meantime because it removes immersion for me personally. Alright, looks good. So yes, I would like some actual gameplay elements, because SES has really been focusing on the map DLCs for the most part. Those are the paid DLCs that we are all enjoying, but at the same time, I'm craving for a bit more gameplay. Whether that's gameplay in the form of actual trucking stuff, which could be, I don't know, like as one of the major things from people, the request to be able to go down your truck and load your own truck, or configure it, or attach the cables yourself, things like that. Those I think are nice novelty items, but they're not really... Oh, is this the one? Almost missed my turn there. Almost had to go around again. Yikes. Ferry, okay, that's the one. Todas direcciones. Alright. That's the pickup point. The boat should be somewhere here. Yeah, as you guys might know, me and boats, we don't really mix so much. I've had several bad experiences with boats, so I'm very cautious about this one. But we'll see. Maybe we get lucky. Marina. I think that one is from, not sure, Real Company mod by Shumi, maybe. There's the boat. So yeah, I think those trucking elements would be nice going down your truck, but I think they would be fun for the first few minutes, honestly. Being able to go down your truck and being able to attach your trailers. I think eventually it would get tiring and people would just skip over it. Like, I don't know, like how it is for like detours or voice navigation. Those are like nice to have gameplay elements or nice to have features, but they're not really something you would be craving for long term. So personally, I would be happy if they were implemented, but it's not top of mind for me. It's not on top of my list. There's the boat. Alright. Off we go. How many kilometers is this? 233. Alright. All good. Shall we... No, let's just see where this takes us. Okay. But yeah, so the going down your truck, all the stuff you can do there, eat a sandwich, go on a rest break or whatever. I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me that much anymore. Before it did, but now I think it's going to be fun for the first few minutes and then I'll get tired of it quickly. So I think I'd rather go with something else, but what that something else is, I'm not so sure. I haven't decided yet. There are so many other things when it comes to trucking. So maybe those things, whichever that is. Oh, there's a car right there. Can I squeeze in, please? Thank you. Alright. Why are these guys so slow though? It's 90 kilometers per hour here. What is this guy doing? Let's honk at him. Might get loud though. Be warned. Oh, not really. That one is a lot louder. Yeah, I'm not sure. Might be a bug, that one. That guy's going super slow. Maybe he's too scared of me. Alright. 40 here. How heavy is this guy? 6 tons? No problem. Have to be a bit careful about these bends though. So yes, you guys let me know in the comments what feature would you want to have. If you could get one feature in, what would you choose? For me, the trucking, the going down your truck, not really. I can live without it. I'd rather focus on actual trucking elements. I don't know, maybe the driving time. I'm sure Jack would be fond of that. Explaining driving time to us, really using that, where it is. That one? Is that the tachometer or however you call it? Having an actual use for that and respecting the driving time maybe would get more in the feel of really being a truck driver. Or something maybe that not really a truck driver centric thing, but more of a truck company kind of thing, would be to add something to the management. So it's not really a trucking element in terms of the driving, but it's a trucking company element when it comes to the economy. Because right now the economy system is pretty basic, right? I'm not sure how else it can be improved. Wait a minute, where the heck are we going? I think here, hopefully. Otherwise I'm on the wrong road. And this looks great. Okay, there we go. Easy does it, easy does it. Steady on the boat. Let's not rock it so much. Sorry, I just had to. But yes, I would rather have something that is more for the management of the company, more for the economy mod. Economy feature rather. Because it's something that's really lacking at the moment. The economy system is pretty basic, right? In the beginning, you kind of save up for something, and then you get money. Once you get money, you buy more trucks. Basically, I'd like more end-game content. Because at this point, I can imagine for people who have been playing for a year or longer, all of us are in that same boat where money is not really an object anymore. You know, there is nothing you can do with the money. It's not anymore. It becomes like a sandbox game. Oh my goodness, the mountains here look beautiful. Love those textures. You can see them from afar. That's nice. Yeah, there is no end game thing. And at that point, when you get that many workers, that many trucks, it's just a rinse and repeat kind of thing. So it's not really about the economy system. That's why people have been going to different VTCs, you know, having like leaderboards in there, or at least logging their hours in a different way, relying on third-party systems to give a bit of progression. Because the in-game economy doesn't have any factor in it anymore when you get to that point. So I would like something more to that level. And I'm sure many of us will be able to relate to that, because many of the hardcore fans, many of the people who are driving truck sims, we've been driving for a while. Of course, there will be new players along the way, but I think more of us are those in that boat. See what I did there? Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Valencia to Murcia, guys. Highly recommend this route. Looks so great. The mix of vegetation and these beautiful looking cliff faces. Can I move there? Thank you. So I'm slowing these guys down on my lane. Alright. But yes, let me know in the comments. What about you? Which feature would you like to have? Alright. Next question, still from Plum. Would you want to see a bigger scale ETS2, ATS one day? And at what point would one feel the scale is too much? Yeah, that's a good question. We have had a couple of different scale maps throughout the years, right? Some standalone mods. We have some favorites like Grand Utopia, Pomizania, which are 1:1. We've had others which are 1:2, 1:5, 1:, something like that. And some of you will call me out on the 1:2 again. Leave me be. But yeah, the default map is 1:19. And I'm not sure. I kind of feel like I want it to be bigger scale, that is a smaller number, because 1:19 is a good, I think, balance for casual versus hardcore folks. But I kind of like the feeling of really traveling long and traveling for a certain distance, and you actually get to feel that you're progressing through different areas. The landscapes are slowly changing. Although, yes, in a higher scaled map, you get to go to less places. So I'm not sure really what is the perfect scale. If I were to just eyeball it, probably I would say 1:10 would be the perfect balance for me. This 1:19 I think is a bit too small scale. I think too many details are lost. And despite that, SES has been doing an amazing job at making everything realistic and cutting out the less important parts, keeping only the juicy parts in here in this game. But still, I think a lot of the details are lost. We're more prone to having those sharp bends, which they shouldn't be. Oh, look at that. Very smart merging from the AI there. Wow, maybe that's one of the AI improvements that you guys have been mentioning to me, which I really was having a hard time believing, but maybe there is an improvement, huh? Cool. But yeah, for me it'd probably be 1:10. Something like this still, but on a slightly bigger scale. 1:1 is nice for short trips, but like long hauls, if you want to really travel from country to country, I think it's going to be so much of a bother. So you literally have to be spending hours. Like flight sim, right? Flight sim is 1:1. It's real life scale. The difference is when you're in flight sim, more often than not, you are traveling at a much faster rate, especially if you're on an airliner or on a jet. So you're traveling like, I don't know, 4 times as fast anyway, versus when you're driving on a car and you're flying on a much straighter path than when you're driving on the road. So you can travel much faster, so 1:1 is not that bad. Although that being said, there is when you go and take the longer flights, the transatlantic flights for example, or even the cross-country flights, it can get long. Some people, I don't know how they do that. They just let their PCs sit there, sleep, and then wake up and it's still there. Flying for 12 hours, flying for 18 hours and whatnot. that's a bit too much for me. And that's already flying, so that's faster. Imagine driving coast to coast in the US, for example, or driving from, I don't know, from Portugal to Poland in a real scale. How long would that take? My goodness. It's probably going to be very troublesome. But yeah, I probably won't want it that intense. 1:1. Would be nice for some inter or intra-city routes, like I don't know, maybe, I think that's perfect though. Having different profiles for different scales is perfect, because if you're in the mood for sightseeing and getting that cross-country feeling, you know, traveling places, then a smaller scale, a 1:10, 1:19, I think that would be great. But if you are in the mood for really detailed driving, like a bus mod, for example, one of the D-bus mod that we've been playing with recently, for example, I'd want that to be as detailed as possible. No shortcuts, no cut corners, literally. There we go, Murcia. So depending on the mood, depending on what you're driving, you'd want something different. And I think that can only be answered with a different scale. Maybe that's something SES can come up with, huh? Because so far we've only had map mods that can give that. Maybe they can offer a map DLC that actually features a different map altogether, like a 1:1 map, an official 1:1 map where you would need to create a different profile. Where the heck am I headed? Straight, okay. That would be cool. Because yeah, I can definitely understand where people who like 1:1 are coming from. And yes, I felt that same feeling. Driving in Grand Utopia, exploring the city. You know, imagine doing that in real life. Imagine doing that in a real scale. Where's that question mark? I want to discover it. Don't even think about entering the roundabout. Thank you. Thinking that's where it should be, but no. Okay, it's here. Is there a viewpoint here, you guys think, or was that a dealer? A question mark we saw a while ago. We'll have to see. Let's see if I can zoom that out. Yeah, that question mark right there. Maybe we can route around a bit. After all, yeah, looks like I passed the parking already. Something like this, maybe. Clear on the left. Clear on the right. Good. So what is that? I think it's a recruitment agency. Yeah, oh, too bad. I thought it was a viewpoint. Okay, that's fine. Can go around. Okay, I think that's where we're parking. Somewhere there near those horses. Those horse trailers. Yeah, that one. Good. Just a different entrance. Okay, that's clear. Thank you. Yeah, you guys let me know which scale is ideal for you, because I've talked with some people with different tastes in that regard. Some people say it should be 1:1. Some people are happy with the current scale. Some people like it somewhere in the middle. I'm more of the somewhere in the middle kind of guy, but now I'm trying to change my answer. Maybe I am okay with this default scale, but also having a different map, a different profile. different official DLC, which is 1:1. So you get the best of both worlds. But realistically, I don't see that happening, but one can wish, right? One can wish. Okay, here we are. Deliver this boat. Get out of here. Good. Alright, there we are. So thanks for the questions, Plum. Still a lot more to go through. Thank you for that. Go through those in a leisurely pace. Just a good excuse to keep on driving, right? Hope you guys are enjoying these chill videos. I surely am. And even though I have a lot of catching up to do with the driving, with the event, really enjoying it. Oh my goodness, that's so far away. Can we even correct it? We do have steerable axles, so maybe that can work. Not really. Blugug. Oh, that will buff right out. Okay, let's use the entire space here. Man, I love that idle sound. Machine gun idle. There we go. Up. It's too sharp. Too sharp. These steerable axles are always catching me off guard. For those who are wondering, by the way, I have True Mirror FOV enabled here. So the mirrors are better in terms of the field of view, better for parking. Less visibility when driving, but much better for parking. Oh my goodness, that's a very sharp bend. But that seems to be working fine. Just need to adjust it a bit, and we are golden. And these trailers can really turn, huh? Like so, and correct it like so. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Is happy? I'm happy. I have to fix that shaking cabin though. I remember I enabled the interior cabin sounds from Zeemod already, but I haven't heard it yet. Might have to remove sound fixes. I'm not sure if there's a conflict. Did that door just open, or was that always open? I like that new feature in these companies. Nice touch. Thank you, SCS. Alright. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Keep the questions coming. Clumsy trucking, everybody. I'll see you in the next one for sure. We'll be spending more time here, and then we'll be moving to ATS from time to time, especially when that new CAT C15 and W900 updates come out. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.